Sorry, I should have woken you. You wanted to get in early today, didn't you?
It is early. You've been up for hours.
Oh, I was up for the dawn chorus. Such a marvellous part of the day this time of the year.
You've not been sleeping well, have you?
I've been disturbing you. I am sorry. I do try not to. I thought maybe I'd sleep in the small room while I'm feeling like this.
You're well, aren't you?
Yes, of course. A bit restless, maybe.
Mum didn't tell Dad, you know. I mean that she was ill. You'd tell me if there was anything wrong, wouldn't you?
I might feel a bit more relaxed if we could settle what's happening to Guy.
We'll talk about it tonight, you know.
Yes, I would like, actually.
I haven't put it out of my mind. I've been working on it. I realize I'm not entirely blameless.
I'll get you some breakfast.
Did you say you were an early bird? I've come to take you out for the day.
Well, you've come too late.
Oh, heavens, Gran, I couldn't have come much earlier.
Well, your father telephoned last night. He's coming to take me out. I seem to be in demand. I shall have to start charging for being taken out before long. I don't know what he's after, but what's your objective?
I just wanted to do something worthwhile. I don't seem to be able to stay in the house like I used to.
Well, you've got friends.
They all seem to be doing things.
How far down the list was I?
I rang Sarah, that's all. But Guy's at home. Made me wonder if we did the right thing sending our kids away to school. But they're not like Guy. They like it. And I've always taken it for granted up to these last few months. And suddenly the house started to seem empty. Not just during the day, night as well.
He's not a pub man. He comes home, doesn't he?
Oh, he comes home. But I don't see very much of him. He has his own room and he does a lot of work there. And he has his records.
Yeah, well, it's like I've always said. You've too many rooms these days. You can get away from each other. And you see, you've got to learn to live together in a house this size. There's nowhere to go to, what do you call it these days? Opt out.
That's what he does. He opts out.
Oh, Mr. Brassington not here yet, Angela?
Mr. Max was just asking. I was going to ring to ask if he wasn't coming in, perhaps. He's usually here when I get here.
You were expecting him, then?
He didn't say not to. It's ringing. Doesn't seem to be any reply.
Ah, he's probably on his way in. Let me know when he gets here, will you?
Oh, you're here. I was in the bathroom when I heard the phone. I thought it might be for me. It wasn't, I take it.
Yeah, I might have answered it if I hadn't forgotten you were here. I took it would be for me.
And you didn't answer it?
Yeah, they'd be ringing up from the plant to find out why I haven't gone in.
Why haven't you?
I'm taking a day off to weigh things up.
Well, that's reasonable.
Not letting them know isn't reasonable. Bloody childish, I'd call it, Ross. What do you call it?
Touch of temperament. Understandable in the circumstances.
Is that what you're going to tell Bill Summers? He'll be ringing you up today to find out how I took it, getting me cards.
That's nonsense.
Oh, aye, childish nonsense.
It's hurt, hasn't it? I wanted to make things easier for you. I seem to have made them worse.
Oh, it would have been just as hard for me, despite anything you could have done. You can't see that, can you?
I'm not completely insensitive, Dad.
Nothing to do with sensitivity. There's no way been invented yet that can make you feel someone else's pain as though it was your own. We talk about it, pain. We see it on the telly, pains of the past, the Jews at Auschwitz. What do we know what it must have been like to strip to nakedness and shuffle into the gas chambers? We know nothing. This other job they want me for.
It's not meant as some form of compensation. They need you.
Oh, aye, because I know who they're going to have to fight to get the quarries and the works extended. I know who'll be for them and who's against them, and I carry weight locally.
That's part of it, I suppose.
Oh, yes, it'll work out nicely for them, won't it? They'll get me out of a job they want me out of and into a job where they need one.
That's how it looks, I dare say.
Of course, I could make it hard for them. I could choose to fight. Ah, you'd rather I didn't, I can see in your face.
I can't see much point, Dad.
Why, because I'm not getting any younger?
Because you've done your whack. And it's not much fun these days, is it? In management, I mean.
You've given up the battle, haven't you, Ross? You could have ended up running the group if you'd stopped down in London, but you've given up, haven't you?
It was a battle I never had much taste for, you know that.
I don't mean the battle between capital and labour, I mean the battle for yourself. To reach beyond yourself, to carry the load. What are you looking for, Ross?
I don't know. Everything seems so damn futile these days. We seem to live on the edge of disaster all the time.
Well, your generation always has. It's been the same since the war. It's me that's supposed to live in the past, in the golden years when summer was always summer and if winter came, there was God. How long have I got to make up my mind as to what I'm going to do, I mean?
As long as you need, I suppose. Within reason.
And whose reason is that? Theirs or mine?
You'll have to work that one out for yourself, Dad.
Oh, Henry not in yet?
We're ringing. We can't seem to get a reply.
Oh, I wanted to have a word with him before I spoke to you. Has he mentioned a chap called Rankett?
No? Why?
Oh, while you were away, he asked me to get him moved. He drives the works sweeper.
Oh, him, yes. Yes, we were in the works. The chap came past, just missed him. It was Dad's fault, actually. He wants us to fire him.
Find him something useful to do, like work, he said. Or get rid. It's not like Henry to blame his mistakes on other people.
Not exactly himself lately, is he? I was with him last night. The board have asked him to resign to do another job.
You do surprise me. I'd have thought he'd a few years left in him yet. How did he take it?
Badly.
And the other job?
Works and quarry expansion scheme, working with Ross.
Oh, aye, coating on the pill.
It might seem like that.
Well, he could have handled that just as easily with Ross doing the donkey work. He's liked in the works, you know. I was going to say respected, but it isn't the right word.
The fact that he's liked didn't prevent the first unofficial strike we've ever had, did it?
You'll be taking over, of course.
Yes.
Oh, about Rankett. Shall I get rid?
Why? I've told you what it's about.
Aye, but he's been skiving too. I've checked. I tackled him about it.
What did you say?
He said I should talk to you.
I forgot those books I marked last night.
Oh, I put them there. Well, what time do you want me to be ready? For you to run my case up to the college, I mean.
12:05, all right?
It's good of you to give up your lunch, Anne.
I've made some sandwiches for us, and Dad's going to eat down the pub.
A sacrifice you'd be glad to make to get rid of me, I suppose.
No, I don't think so. Apart from your political differences, I think you two get on quite well.
Better than you and I, you mean?
Was it politics with your wife? The reason that your marriage broke up?
Partly. Part of a general lack of interest in any of the serious aspects of life. Not our kind of incompatibility.
Our kind?
If my daughter rings, could you explain that I'm not on the phone when I'm going? I write to her at grandmother's, of course.
Well, if you can arrange to be here, she can call you here anytime you like.
Oh, she can't fix times because not wanting my wife to know she's phoning me. And you don't want her popping in here all the time, in any case.
You don't let anybody do you a favour, do you?
That's my diffident nature. That's all that is.
Look, I've got to get back to school. I'll see you just after 12, right?
To do me the favour of humping my stuff.
You let me sleep.
You needed sleep.
Dad gone to work?
Ages ago.
When are we going to talk about things?
Want me to ask for you?
You haven't talked already. Without me being here, I mean.
No.
Promise.
Well, of course not. Why is it so important to you that we shouldn't have?
You're on my side. I don't want Dad to change your mind for you.
Oh. You don't think I'm strong enough to resist the pressure? Is that what you mean? What's my failing, Intellectual?
Now you're angry with me.
Oh. No, I'm not. I'm angry with myself.
You're more than his intellectual equal, you know you are.
Oh, do I? What then?
Oh, you know.
Maybe I do. I'd like to hear your version of it.
It's his personality. He's a bulldozer.
Strength and character I lack, is that it?
I wish you wouldn't keep assuming things.
What you meant to say there, isn't it?
I meant comparatively. You're reasonable, he's not.
You think I'm reasonable because I take your point of view, that's all. There is something to be said for his, you know.
There you are, you see, you're being reasonable.
I cannot deny that the local school is not a good one, can I? Now, what am I to set against that?
I can't go back to the other, Mum, I can't. Well, not now Jean's gone to Canada. I won't be able to get away from it. I'll be reminded all the time. At least if I'm here, I'll have you.
Is that important to you?
Yes, it's very important to me.
Sorry.
What have I said?
No.
I've upset you?
No, it's nothing. I thought I'd lost you, that's all.
You've lost me?
Your respect, your love, more important to me than you being here. You're right, I am weak.
I didn't say you were weak.
That's what you meant, and you are right. I drink nearly all the time these days. You didn't know that, did you? There you are, you see, I'm being honest with you, terribly honest. I'm treating you like a grown-up. What am I saying? You are a grown-up. Not more grown-up than we are. What do we look like to your lot, our generation? Us? The bulge. Product of the post-war reunions and the post-war hangovers. That's what we are, the post-war hangovers. What is it you say nowadays? Do your own thing. Will you do it? Do it. Ignore us, for God's sake, ignore us, for your own sakes. If you want to listen to anybody, you listen to your grandfather. You've got more in common with his generation than you have with ours.
That's true, I think. I think it probably is, but doesn't alter the fact that I love you, does it?
Do you? Do you? Do you really?
Well, of course I do.
Not ashamed to say it either, are you?
Why should I be?
Oh, we are, some of us. Most of us. It's a word we've tried to do without. I'll get it. If you cut the rind off some bacon, I'll make you some breakfast. Your friends are coming.
Friends?
Jean, her parents, they asked if they could come.
What for? Why?
Didn't say. Just asked if they could come.
Kent spoke to me. I had to take him into my confidence. You shouldn't have mentioned my name.
I'd have collected my cards if I hadn't.
You sure you can handle this thing?
I've got the hang of it now. And there aren't many other jobs I can easily skive on, are there?
Just be damn careful, that's all.
Couldn't you wait till we get there?
I wouldn't have stopped if I could, would I?
Get a good look from that car that just went past. Disgusting habit.
I learnt it on chapel outings when I was a lad. Your generation must have done the same unless they had outsized bladders.
Different in them days. And facilities, had we?
Jean never complained. We stopped here the day she died. On the way back from Ledston, she'd been to the doctors without me knowing, she thought. Didn't want me to worry. She loved this view of the valley.
Aye, it's a grand enough view. It's barely changed since I was a girl. Shanks's pony was the only way we could get there in them days.
They want to open new quarries, extend the works. There'd be all this infrastructure, buildings and railway side, and likely as not bring in other works, other industries. Could be an industrial revolution, what we're looking at now.
You'd allow them to do that?
Oh, nay, I've no power on the land. They want rid of me at work.
You'll go?
When they want rid these days, you go, whether you want to or not, whether you're capable or not. Life these days is run by committees. They want me to join them in changing the valley.
What'll you do?
I'm weighing it up.
Where are we having it?
Eh?
Taking me out for my dinner, you said.
We're going to George and Rita's over there. There's another lovely view from George's place.
No wonder you said nothing.
I know she takes a bit of putting up with her, Rita, but you know damn well you enjoy sharpening your tongue on her. I thought it'd make a good day out for you.
Child.
That's what he said. Know thyself. I wish I could be as honest about my failings. I suppose you're part way there if you can admit to having any.
This is the one Mr. Brassington had out. The letter on top's the one he sent off yesterday.
Thank you.
Cup of tea, Mr. Ross.
I'd love one, Angela. Why are they all so damn sexy these days? Even the plain ones.
Are they?
Don't tell me you hadn't noticed.
Have you spoken to Summers yet?
Yes, he's coming up.
When?
As soon as he knows where he stands with Dad.
Did Dad say anything this morning?
He made it apparent he's not going to be rushed. It's my situation it's going to affect, not yours. The real uncertainty is whether he's going to take on the other job. As far as I can... Green's his private file, isn't it?
I can't be expected to do this job if he damn well won't come in, if I don't have access to things. I'm trying to find out what this order might be that he talked about, the one that's supposed to replace Rastrix.
It'll be in his head if he's still on form. He'll tell you if you ask him. His quarrel's with Bill Summers, not with you. If anybody's going to come out of all this business with a clean sheet, it's you, as far as he's concerned.
What gives you that idea?
Oh, something he said last night about you doing my job. Telling him about the board's decision.
He doesn't care for me all that much, you know. There's the same gap between us that there is between myself and Guy.
Their car's coming up the drive.
Damn, I wanted to get this in the oven first. Never mind.
Is Dad coming home to lunch?
Well, he hardly ever does. Why?
Well, I think I know why they've come, you see. It's because of something we did. Let's go meet them.
See? Some people don't have to go to Canada to make money.
Hello, Guy.
Hello.
Have you met Jean's mother?
Yes, we met last speech day. Please go in. Mother's just coming. Where's Jean? Hasn't she come?
Oh, she's just around there, admiring your garden.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you tell them?
Yes.
How did they take it?
Mum's up the wall. She'll change her mind now she sees you're respectable, i.e. affluent. Dad's... he's trying to look reasonable. The usual. You know. What about yours?
Didn't tell them. We're supposed to talk about it tonight.
Chicken?
No, just didn't. It's great seeing you.
Is it?
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for Dad.
Ah, well, I doubt if he'll be coming in. And Max is working here.
Yes, I know you don't like me coming here except to pick you up when you're having the car serviced. But I came to see Dad. He's taking Gran out for the day. I thought I might persuade him to take me out as well. After all, I don't get taken out very often, do I?
Ah, well, I don't think there's much point in you waiting.
I don't suppose you'd like to take me out, would you?
I'm working, for God's sake.
Minute, lunch.
No, I'm lunching with some plant contractors.
You read this, don't you?
Yeah.
I dare say you'd find it more interesting than me. I'm not gilt-edged enough. Is that what's wrong with me?
Dot. Not in here.
Is Dad at home?
As far as I know. Anyway, I don't think you should bother him at a time like this.
He's my father, not yours. What do you mean? At a time like this?
You know they've asked him to resign, don't you?
How could they?
Didn't he tell you we were coming?
Have you forgotten to tell me?
Nay, you said no to me, did you, Henry? Not that it matters. It's good to see you.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because it looks like we've invited ourselves to dinner. That's what he promised me.
No, as a matter of fact, I thought I'd take you both out.
Well, that's a shame. I've vet coming. I've got to be here. No need to go out any road. We could feed Kitchener's Army with what we got in our freezer.
There's no need to tell everybody, George.
Black market, is it?
The war's over, Mother. We won, though it's hard to believe when you look at some of them that lost.
You've not been since we've decorated, have you? It's years since I've been in this room. Decorated since, have you?
Last month. But Jean, I was thinking of, she were here when they came.
Is this where you sit to nurse lambs?
Lambs? In here? Over my dead body. That's his department. I told him before we were wed, I said I'll marry thee, but I'll not marry Muck.
That's what she said, is it?
It sounds right. I have to go and give Laddie's orders. Come with me. We shall not be so long.
Mendel's from Manchester did that.
Did you pay the bill?
Well, of course we paid it. Why shouldn't we?
They can't put wallpaper up like they used to, Rita, love.
Come about what I told you on the phone, have you?
Aye, in part I have.
Thought you were going to tackle her in there.
Hey, I wouldn't drop you in it like that, George. Nay.
Not coming in?
Well, I've got some sandwiches. I suppose I could eat them here.
I thought I'd bring these.
Oh, thanks. I'm afraid lunch won't be anything very special.
Oh, we didn't expect to stay.
It's the only time Max could possibly see you. We've just had a strike at the works.
Ruining the country, these strikes. I should be glad to be out of it in a way.
You have doubts? About Canada, I mean?
Yes, we both have, I suppose. Then John says it's the only way.
Only way to what?
To go on living decently, really. We've nothing like this, of course. Seem to be rapidly losing all we have got over the last few years. I mean, money, the prices of things. If he gets a rise, it all seems to go in tax. How do you manage?
Max just pays. We've never really discussed it.
We don't seem to discuss anything else. He blames me for the gas bill, the telephone, the electric. We had to take Jean away from the school because we couldn't afford the fees anymore. It wasn't just because we're going to Canada.
Mind if I join you? I feel a bit out of things in there.
He's come to see if we're arguing.
Arguing? Why should we be?
Well, to be perfectly honest, when Jean told me they were engaged, I hit the roof. Well, just out of the blue like that. 16. You've taken it very well. But then it's different for a boy, isn't it? I mean, we knew nothing about Guy, his background, anything. She wouldn't talk about the practical things. They live in a dream world these days, don't they?
They live in a world we made for them as well. It doesn't surprise me they fall back on dreams.
Oh, it's easy for you. You take everything so damn calmly, don't you? I'm just on my own in this. Just on my own. Oh, now we've met you, I feel better, of course, but... Oh, it still takes some swallowing, though, doesn't it? I've left my makeup bag in the car.
I'll get it for you.
No, I'll get it.
There's a cloakroom just inside the front door.
Sorry. She's been a bit shattered by it all. You've taken it very well.
Oh, that's only because I don't think I've quite taken it in yet. I don't mind warning you, I'm dreading Max coming home.
I was hoping we could just keep it cool for their sakes.
They think it'll last if they get engaged, don't they? Survive you all going to Canada, end in wedding bells.
Don't you?
No. Oh, I'd like to think so. But even if it does, do wedding bells mean happiness?
They seem to want to tie themselves to something our generation's going sour on. Do you understand it?
No. But maybe they think it's not marriage that's failed. It's us.
Looks as though someone's living there. Dad must have let it out.
It's yours.
Yes. I used to take my books there on the holidays.
Don't you have any friends round here?
You don't get to make many friends when you're away at school most of the time.
I'm the same. I've only got you.
It'll be different in Canada.
It'll be different for you if you don't go back to this school. If you stay here.
We're supposed to talk about that tonight with Dad. He's always been against it. I think he'll agree with it now, though. He's taking over Grandad's job at the works. He won't want to bother with me.
Oh.
It's all he really cares about. Work.
Will he mind us being engaged?
Childish nonsense, he'll say. He's got no imagination. He's what's wrong with everything. Not like Mum. She's great, Mum.
I think we'd better get back, don't you? They'll think we're making babies.
Not one of those, are you?
One of what?
Dust samplers. Mum was an expert. Crafty little dab when nobody was looking. Private little smile that said, just as I thought.
She's dead.
Aye. She'll be sampling the dust of heaven, I'm sure.
Oh. So you admit to the possibility of a heaven, then, do you?
No. Sorry to disappoint you. And her.
Well, of course, we only exist in your beliefs, don't we?
Well, let's not fall out. You've been good to me. And you hated having a lodger, didn't you?
Shall I make a list?
A list?
Things that you'll need for cooking, so on.
I've been on my own for quite a while now, you know.
Oh, sorry, I'd forgotten how independent you are.
Oh, does it worry you to see men liberated?
You couldn't resist that, could you? Will you sleep down here?
You think I should?
Be warmer and not so lonely as going upstairs to an empty bedroom.
Aye. There's something about going up to an empty bedroom, isn't there?
It looks more comfy than the one upstairs. Yes, I really think it is.
Is that?
What do you think?
Well, certainly it's good, I'd say. Well, I'll do as you say, then. Sleep down here. I hate empty bedrooms. They... What's the word?
Epitomise?
Aye, they epitomise the whole bloody awful business of being on your own and hating it. But it's the same for you, too, in a way, isn't it? It's not the best of reasons for marriage, though. That need. Second best, perhaps. Does it go when you're older, do you think?
I doubt it. I think you'd have to be pretty damned old, actually.
Great kitchen. I've never known a Rita so quiet.
Well, I should be guarding her words in case they get chucked back at her.
I'll tell you something. Nay, I'll not...
Go on, spill it. You can't stop halfway through a story.
It's to do with Jean.
She liked a good story, Jean.
At funeral to the week. Nay,
You'll
I'll
make
not...
it worse if you don't go on.
Or Rita damn near fainted when she saw your mother. She'd got it in her head that it was your mother you were burying, not Jean.
Go on.
It's right.
Oh, we're damn funny folk, aren't we? That can walk among flowers without treading on them.
You've not taken offence, then, that she asked me to see if you'd sell your house. You sounded a bit put out on phone.
You got me at the wrong end of a bottle of scotch. Nay, she's not the only one that's expecting me to move now that Jean's gone. Our dot never stops. Who are these friends of Rita that want it?
Oh, it's a tale, all that. It's her that wants it. She wants me to pack up on this place.
Give up farming? You'd be mad, isn't it? It's all that's left that's worth out.
Jerusalem, you called it. There's drawbacks to Jerusalem.
George, don't forget to send the lad into Treadle.
If you know what I mean.
I have to sell anyway.
Have to?
I'm not packaged for inflation like you farmers. I never cared much for pension funds, for the use they are with inflation. And I've had some damn bad advice on investments in the past, and then I've passed on more than I should to the kids over the years, planning to work till I drop somewhere between 60 and 70.
But your mother would help you out. She's worth a small fortune, is Mabel.
She's as tight as a bloody tick, she is, bless her. That's work I shall miss.
You're not going to pack it in as well, are you?
Well, what difference will it make to you if you're thinking of moving? Nay, I shall manage. If the will hasn't gone out of me.
You call that a ploughman's lunch, do you?
What do you call it?
I'd sooner have what they give bloody horse.
We get all kinds coming in here, you know. If they give donkeys same as horses, a nose bag would suit you, wouldn't it?
Oats they give horses.
You'd have to go somewhere else for them.
Horse? Dad?
You wanted me to give a message to our Ruth?
Now, could you tell our seer at 8 instead of 7:30?
I'd leave it as it is if I were you. It'll be 8 by she's ready. If she said 7:30, they like that in our family. I'll get back to work. It doesn't go away when you go on strike, you know. It just piles up. I'll see you tonight, Jess.
Not if I see you first.
Glad I'm not the only one in Dickie's meadow.
Oh. What sin have you committed, then?
Standing against him at the works election next month.
Oh, that. I thought it might be something serious, not politics.
Which is pulling your leg.
I pull pints, not legs.
What do you think your chances are, Les?
I'd lay 10 to 1 against, and I know nothing about it.
Last part's right. You're back for good, then?
I hope I am.
Couldn't stand the peace down there, eh?
That's an assumption some people seem to be making.
You and our Ruth going to get wed?
That's another assumption people seem to be making.
No, I wouldn't mind.
That's big of you.
No, I didn't mean like that. I meant politically.
Oh.
Well, you always lean towards our side for all your management. I always tell the lads that.
I'll have to make you my agent.
Change your ideas a bit, have you?
Last year's solutions don't always solve this year's problems, Les.
Taking your dad's place eventually?
I doubt it.
It'll be Big Brother then.
He's better at it than I am. I've too many doubts and uncertainties.
What about?
About practically everything these days.
Yeah. It's time I was getting back. I'm sorry you're not taking over. I see some rough times ahead.
You sound like a government after it's won an election.
I knew I'd heard that somewhere before.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I couldn't resist chipping in there. You'll never get voted in against his dad, you know.
Even the losers have a function, Jessie. If they didn't compete, there'd be no race, would there?
Something I'd like you to know.
Hmm?
I didn't plan this. I mean, I didn't ask you, and there was in the back of my mind.
Who knows what's at the back of their minds? The prospect of looking at the back of mine would terrify me.
Something else I'd like you to know.
Truth games?
You're the first since I left home.
You mean I'm the state of desperation that you've reached?
You know that's not true. It does get a bit like that.
The empty bed, you mean? Do you think that women don't feel the same?
Oh, I'm an awful mess of my life.
And yet you're completely convinced that you're capable of changing other people's lives to their advantage.
That's politics.
I thought politics was supposed to come into everything, even bed. What would be the Marxist-Leninist view of the last 10 minutes or so, would you say?
You take everything lightly, don't you?
Like your wife, you mean?
No, not like my wife.
No. I don't take everything lightly. But you don't expect me to take this seriously, do you?
Oh, resenting your natural need now has been satisfied, are you? Thought that was a male characteristic. Get up, make a cup of tea, light a cigarette.
Natural needs can lead you into some pretty sordid situations, can't they?
Well, that's how you feel about this, is it?
I said they could. I find this just a bit sad, that's all. You with your lofty ambitions to change society, succumbing to one of the trivialities of life.
Don't belittle me.
You belittle yourself, don't you? Underneath it all, you're no more certain that you know the answers than I am. You pretend. You're not honest. Not even with yourself. I've got to get back to work.
And will I see you again?
You won't.
Now who's resenting their natural need?
I've got other natural needs too. Security, permanence, hope for the future.
None of which I can satisfy, of course.
Would you want to?
Be pretty pointless even if I did, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Well, who exploited who in this situation, would you say?
We exploited each other, didn't we?
They're going. Look, don't come to the car. Say goodbye here.
I can come to the airport when you go next week. Mum's bringing me.
Let them go, I say. What do you say? I'll see you at the airport.
Yes, at the airport.
I have to get back.
I might take him to the airport next week. What are you going to tell him tonight about school?
I'm not going to insist that he goes back, if that's what you mean. Frankly, I think I'd be wasting the fees.
Thank you for being reasonable about the engagement. I know you can't approve.
Approve? You don't imagine I take it seriously?
No, I don't imagine you take it seriously. Hungry?
No, no thanks.
Sorry, what a damn silly question. You don't have to go back to the school, by the way.
Oh?
So that's something, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, that's something. You haven't had an awful argument with Dad, have you?
We don't have awful arguments, not really. Sometimes wish we did.
I'll go upstairs, I think.
I'll be out walking for a bit. I won't be long.
Yes, yes, all right.
It'll pass. It'll pass. And then for a long, long time, there'll be nothing. Nothing.
Where have you been?
Do I ask questions of you?
Well, wherever you've been, it's not improved your temper.
They should erect a public monument to you up here. I can think what it should be and all.
Might sell the house.
I wondered when you'd come to sense.
Must have somewhere to live.
I'm taking no lodgers.
I didn't ask.
Back of your mind, was it?
Half and half. I can't live alone. I'm not built that way. I dare say Ross will come with me.
He'll marry Ruth Turner, will Ross?
Who says so?
I do. It's what he wants.
And Ruth?
She'll do no better, and she could do a lot worse. Sound, practical lass is Ruth.
I have to give up work as well. They've made it impossible for me. What'll I do with myself?
Max thinks it's a catastrophe, Guy getting engaged.
Maybe he's right.
You too? I thought people like you were on the side of youth.
People like me.
Radicals, people who think.
Inside every thinking radical, there's a pragmatist who says, well, it's great in theory, but will it work?
Well, a guy knows the pitfalls.
Does he? At 16, born into a society based on a phony affluence, more or less permanent disco where you press the button to make the noise. How did it happen to you, anyway?
How did what happen?
Marriage.
Oh. I was a typist in the London office of the parent company. My father was an executive in an insurance business and something went wrong. They never told me all the details, but we had to move into a little box in Hillingdon and I had to go out into the world and earn my living. It wasn't what I'd been led to expect.
And along came Max, dream knight in shining armor.
I wasn't that stupid. I kept pushing him away because I doubted my motives. And there was someone else. At the time, I did have a choice, something he never knew about. His brother came down to do his year in London after Max went back. He wanted to marry me, too.
So you married Max?
I haven't always regretted it, you know, only the last 3 or 4 years. I was 17. There was what was called a cultural barrier, I suppose, but oh, there was so much else.
What went wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. I blame myself, Max, his damned obsession with work.
Well, work's a necessity. Without work, there's nothing. You can't blame a man for being obsessed by a fact of life.
You're defending him?
I'm interested in truth. No, not interested. Interested is the wrong word. I'm obsessed by it. That cripples me.
There was Gwen.
Gwen?
We had a daughter. She died. There was a time of the other crisis when the power cuts happened and the lights went out.
Ah, those lights.
See, when I married Max, it was as if I'd been given back something I'd lost. Foundations. He'd never be weak enough to acknowledge there was anything in life he wasn't strong enough to bear.
When you scream and nobody comes. It's something you said out there when I met you that day.
I've just dropped my mother off, seen her in home. We've been to Jean's cousin's to the other side of the valley.
Round view from over there.
That's what I hoped you'd say. I came.
Extensions to the works? Opening the old quarries up?
You've heard.
There'll be murmurs. I said so to Ross.
Well, he's been here.
He's taking our Ruth out tonight.
I'm against it.
I said you up and would be.
You were a pitman once. You were brought up other side of the hills there. You've seen what they did over there, taking coal.
Oh, I lived in it. I breathed it. I was thankful to get away from it, get over here.
The union will be for it because it means more jobs.
Well, I'll be for it too, same reason.
How could you be?
How could I not be when I lived through times worse than these?
And when it's all gone and there's no more to take, what then?
Well, find something to put in its place.
They, who's they?
You, for one. Them, us, you, me.
You've got a lot of damned confidence in something you abominate, haven't you?
It's life. It's a flux. It goes on best it can. We're the warp and the weave, you and me. We live as we're made. I wish I could get our Les to see it.
Happen I should have a talk with your Les. Oh, Miss Ruth.
Mr. Brassington?
Back from school.
They despair of her. Can't teach her out, them kids. She knows it all.
Well, it must run in the family then, mustn't it?
So, we'll be on opposite sides, as usual then. Only, you'll be for the company and I'll be against.
You're packing up?
The board have voted me off. The parent board, that is. Bill Summers, that I helped to put where he is.
I planted the seed that grew into our Les. He's standing against me next month in work selection. I taught him most of what he knows. Oh, well, they say we reap as we sow, don't they?
And it's to be hoped that them that we sowed better.